back to What the Dickens. Before the break, I asked what inspired Dostoevsky to write The Gambler while still working on Crime and Punishment. The girls, I think, know the answer.
He presumably was a frantic gambler himself. He lost some money on the gaming tables, on the GGs.
He bankrupted himself, and he ended up living underneath a table.
He needed to pay his gambling debt, so he wrote another book. Yeah, absolutely right. The next round is called Common People. I'll show each team 3 famous faces. They have to tell me what the 3 have in common. So, Chris and Giles, here are your 3. Gerard Depardieu, Francis Ford Coppola and Cliff Richard. What do they have in common?
Are they all virgins?
Yes, correct. Next, no.
Is it they're all going on a summer holiday?
Oh, I love that idea! They're all going on a bus to the south of France.
You'd think Francis Ford Coppola would have chosen the next one down in his 4 passport photos. Because
he's making a film with the life of Harold Shipman, and part of the deal is they all have to go.
They all own vineyards.
Absolutely right. The answer is... They all have their own lines of wine. Depardieu has been making wine since the early 1980s. Coppola produces Californian wine in the Napa Valley. And Cliff Richard launched a Portuguese wine back in 2002.
He actually exports mistletoe and wine. It's a dual business.
I think it's when it actually comes to the kissing bit, he goes, I don't know if I can go through with that, I'm really sorry.
That's what the wine's for.
One of my favourite moments of my entire life involved your dad. It's a story that Giles knows well. Alan, Coren and I were working on another quiz show, and we found ourselves in the makeup room alone with Cliff Richard, and honestly could neither of us think of any topic of conversation that was suitable. And Alan had the most perfect manner, so he said to Sir Cliff, he said, "Nice necktie." And Sir Cliff looked down and said, "Yes, it's a Galtieri." And there was a slight pause, and Alan went, "Oh, I wondered what he did after the Falklands." At which point, we looked at each other and both turned and left the room. Cliff Richard is, of course, famous for his wine, or singing, as he insists on calling it. Yay! Cliff produces his wine in Portugal, laid down in deep limestone caves, protected from light and kept at a constant low temperature of 6 degrees centigrade. It's how Cliff manages to keep looking so young. Over to you, Sue and Josie. Here are your 3.
Lily Allen, sort of singing, but actually talking, not really singing, just talking a lot about stuff I know, which is mainly stuff down my street, because I don't go anywhere else, because I get pursued by paparazzi in it. That's good.
Lily Allen,
We've got clearance for that.
Who's the next one?
Oh, Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton and...
Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg. What do they have in common? Lily Allen, Tilda Swinton, Mark Wahlberg.
Is it that they're all the children of Keith Allen? He's neglected all of them.
Yeah.
He's a very bad father.
He's a busy, busy bee.
They've all got something extra.
I know that Marky Mark is known for his downstairs, but
Is he?
yes, he's known for it. But also, he was an underwear model. I don't know if Tilda Swinton has been an underwear model.
No, they have something extra. All 3 of them have something
Do they have a tertiary nipple, Sandi?
Absolutely correct.
Really?
Yes, they do. The answer is that they all have a 3rd nipple. It's a bizarre thing to know. Lily Allen apparently revealed hers on the Sunday Night Project. Tilda Swinton apparently threatens her brothers with hers. And
how big is it? It's like a cudgel.
You can shoot acid.
Nipply cosh.
And Mark Wahlberg has decided not to remove his, confessing that he has started to like it. So 2 points to Sue and Josie there.
Oh, well done.
Lily Allen has a 3rd nipple and also has an extra tit, her dad Keith. Tilda Swinton has worked with some of the best leading men in the business, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, to name but one. So at the end of that round, it's 7 points each. Our final round is called Losing the Plot. Our captains have 90 seconds each to impart the title of a well-known work through clues from the plot, but without mentioning, thank you, any names or places, and without using any of the words of the title. I have decided that, Chris, you are going to go first, please.
Ready, team?
Yes.
Look at this. You've got 90 seconds. Open your envelope, and you begin now.
Okay, right. It's a novel in which a science fiction writer is stalked by a Pontiac salesman. Pontiac's a proper noun. It was The Breakfast of Champions. The next one is...
Lucky I hadn't read it.
It was a film. It was also a book. A typewriter turns into a some kind of cockroachy thing. It's a druggy, 50s-ish...
Was it by one of Burroughs, one of those type of people?
Yeah, exactly that fella.
Is it Naked Lunch?
That's the one, a young woman brings a black fellow home to eat
Guess
his
who's coming
chicken.
for
That's
dinner?
the one, yeah. This is something that you might have at dinner, particularly in that country. It's a nice crust on the top and underneath.
Apple pie, is
Yeah,
it?
but it's from that country.
Oh.
It's
Mom's apple pie.
well, what's the name of the country, love?
America.
Yes, the
American pie.
Right,
okay, fine. Sorry, I don't watch that kind of movie.
Right, imagine it's an extremely fast train with a fruit on it, with green bits coming out, and that's quite knobbly and yellow, delicious flesh.
Pineapple Express.
That's the one. This particular kind of citrus is not the single
Orange is
example.
not the only fruit.
Yes, that's right. But if one were to wind one of these up, that would be yes, right. This is a film by a Jewish comedian set in a republic.
Bananas.
That's the one. This is an enormous soft fruit and a small gentleman, small lad who meets some James
James the Giant Peach.
That's the one.
Yeah, well done. Okay, I make that 7 because James and the Giant Peach happened after the klaxon. So you have got 14, so you need 8. You can do this, girls. You need 8 points. Okay.
Yes, I can.
Here we go. Open your envelope and begin now, please.
Famous transatlantic play about witch hunts.
The Crucible.
This is a famous novel set in the 80s where
American
there's
Psycho?
a hit and run in a bad part of town.
I don't know this.
If it was the 5th of November, I would probably have a...
Fireworks?
No, something like that. It's
Bonfire of the
Oh, damn, I shouldn't have
Libertines.
said it. This is a play set in a place where they eat garlic snails.
France.
In the trenches.
Regeneration?
And it's written by a man whose surname basically would be the guy who wears the star in town and runs the whole
Sheriff.
show. Yeah.
Omar Sharif.
Not written by Omar Sharif, no. Not written by him at all. It's Journey's End.
I'm sorry.
So, now I'm going to go to a musical where a philosophical milkman might sit on the pitch of your house and play an instrument. The instrument might be a stringed instrument. It's a stringed instrument he's playing. If you play a stringed instrument, and I don't think mimes are excluded. What am I doing?
Violin.
And I'm sitting on the pitch of
Fiddler
your
on the
house.
Roof.
Yes, I am.
Fiddler.
Okay, famous play about people who stand at doors and stop people coming into clubs.
God. Bouncers, doormen.
Good. These are about plants. Plants that are horrible. They come to
Day of the
life.
Triffids.
Yes. Famous, I think, restoration sort of novel about a woman comes from finishing school. It's been televised.
Malfeasance?
No, it's 2 words.
Roxana?
No. If I was really, really pretty, I looked in the mirror all the time and went, oh, I love myself.
Vanity Fair.
If I... okay, this is a horrible story about nature, about little things that live in warrens.
Did we not get it?
You got The Crucible, Fiddler on the Roof, Bouncers, The Day of the Triffids, and Vanity Fair. And that leaves you with 12 points. So after all that excitement, I can tell you that Chris and Giles are the winners. Please show your appreciation. This has been What the Dickens. I've been Sandi Toksvig, and we're off to have a vote on whether or not Picasso was a skilled portrait painter. Remember, it's the eyes to the left, the nose to the right. Good night.